Alright, I should remember to mute my microphone, but I keep forgetting. I do be sorry, but doesn't matter. We'll start right back into the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, episode 4. Hopefully we get a bit further this time and actually get to the courtroom, but we can't be sure. I got myself something caffeinated. Hopefully it keeps me awake, but caffeine normally it doesn't work for me. Yeah, that's it. Or it works too well. It's either one of those. Yes. Right. It took a minute and then I remembered what happened last time. So, our client is the occupant of this room we're currently in, and our best friend, Herlock Holmes, is the one that deduced the fact that our client is the one that did it. Now, we all know how he is with his great deductions. They're barely accurate, just scraping the surface of what's going on, so we can be sure that that's wrong. Now, let's just get right into it and hear what he has to say. Mr. Natsume's arrest. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Prior Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? I can't believe he was looking Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh? How? I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? Oh, that I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garrida, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British institution that is the services. And it was the first time I've ever met a man from the Great British institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken the social standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary! As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower class, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garridup. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. It's the maid, more or less, but yeah. Whether or not in impose as the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. I'm not. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody, sooner or later. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness! Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows, and those of lesser means having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly closed windows up, while the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So much 40 years ago or thereabout, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Because the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodations. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, I believe I've taught you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remembered that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure on what grounds. Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there's simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us. I can't say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owned this property is hiding something. Are we just reiterating what we already established? Okay. Mr. Garridab is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo. As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence. Hey Erika, how you doing? No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garridab's secret? Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. It's the maid's secret, not the landlord's. As far as I would say, but okay. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Thanks? You won't help us? Huh, a busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Very busy, yes. I'm doing fine. I'm experiencing a kind of freedom I haven't in a while without anyone in the home. It's so relaxing. Oh my god. I can walk everywhere without being disturbed or blocked by a dog. It's so nice. Sadly, it's only going to last for 2 weeks, but those 2 weeks I'll be on cloud 9 the whole time. Oh yeah, that's for sure. Okay, have I missed anything? I don't think so. I am quite thorough. Thorough. Window. Could talk to him again. I don't think that's gonna... Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off, that is the question, and the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Okay, I guess we have to move again. Mr. Gary Depp's room? Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forgot his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. A jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what... For the upteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bloody well doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Huh? Ah, yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out? According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gary Depp is hiding something, and since no other avenues of investigation seems open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Yeah, but how? They're still there. How does he do that? What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes? We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky at the sunsets, madame. Yet sadly cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observations. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well... Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's bright mind. Yeah, sure. I want your roommates, though. Wait, he's not talking about... is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. Sure. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. No? There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Okay. Mr. Garridab, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. Huh? I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements. They're spying on their tenants. That much is obvious. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Narrator, look! The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Yeah, stay in your delusion, alright. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? The lion? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garridab, leads us directly to the answer. Okay, it's one of the pictures instead. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you try to keep in this very house. What? I doubt that's happening. Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Where? Madame? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. What? The circus? No. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Ah. Yes, you've sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrida. At Britih's circus. The traveling show currently is sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. That's not happening. If you don't train them while they're young, they won't listen to anyone. But okay, sure. A rampaging, Asiatic lion, okay. Topic 2, what's this? Okay, aftermath. Now, Mr. Garrida. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fists of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man, I am simply... But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need to only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. 4 cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. What? How much are they eating? Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, now... Oh, that's just adorable. I don't think, at least if you look old enough, anyone would believe you're still in school. You know, I'm wearing this backpack with flowers. So, who needs a purse? A backpack is better for your back anyway. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh dearie me! What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madame, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Sugar shock? Wow. Yeah, right. There's no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiable appetite. Unsatiated, I'm sorry. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no breath, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final attack of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. Yep, that makes total sense. A carnivore that goes for cake and then for carpet. That's exactly how this would go. Yes, definitely. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Carpet gnawed on by a starving lion. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this beastly puzzle. What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. I'm still amazed by this teapot. I want this. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garida, but I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Because of their stupidity? Yes. Oh. Mr. Shaw? Sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrideb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. He only fought in one battle, was hurt and was let go, as far as I gathered from the conversation we had last time. So, highly unlikely. Using that large cannon? No. Did you ever fire a cannon? Probably not. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus? And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing, but I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion! Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. A slight message. That's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it. Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward. Mr. Naruto? We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. True. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again from the beginning. Can we just skip to the part we have to correct? Of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, let's go. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Geridep, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Geridep's reaction, it rather seems as though some beasts did indeed run amok in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Geridep's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. Okay, what else is there? This? They're married? What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Geridep's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Yeah, that's probably the...
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Geridep. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. That's an interesting way to put it. Okay. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late, the fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Geridep. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madame? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's whereabouts. The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is right. Quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garridup anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garridup's wife could be. Can we see her hands? We do. Perfect. Give me that ring.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah. Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garridup's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garridup's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garridup herself. My word! Well, jolly fine detection, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his bride, don't you know? By jolly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single mate in his employ. Yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garridup has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garridup? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret. Please. The raging wife of Mr. Garridup. Okay. Topic 2. Aftermath. Now, Mr. Garridup, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garridup's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garridup is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then? According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify?
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, and the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madame Joan Garrideb. Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. I feel sorry for that dude, but still. How the blazes, how did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. Obviously. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. No, because the other side is his chocolate side. It shows his mooniness. Well, now let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subject to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Did Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for line fodder? Yes, but we've established that the line never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife. Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing. Thank you. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap round the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. What do we have? What do we have? Bookmark. Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrideb's clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look, next to the signature there. Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Whee!
Take that!
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. But I don't know the bally woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you see? That's right, that's what I've been saying. A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at that time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and that note must already have been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? And there we have it. Arouse the suspicion of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious part. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. She didn't eat the carpet. An unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen here. Observing the carpet over there. It's been burned, not bitten. How can you... Oh, a very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh dearie me! What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. A very angry son, yeah. I like that in this case it's the female sun and the male moon, which is the German genderization of the sun and the moon. I know in most other languages it's male sun, female moon. In German it's just the other way around, so I like this. But let's see. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer indeed. It's not the cake, it's the candle. Yes, to explain the dire states, we need only look at the cake. No. But surely Mrs. Scary Depp didn't eat the carpet? No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes's deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Scary Depp's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes! Wait. No, oops. What? I can't go to the candle? What do you mean I have to click on this? Because the candlestick is down there. Whee. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes's deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink this with that in mind. Yo, I'm holding it above the candle. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small, surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? Which one am I supposed to go for? Okay. I guess we have to go for the candlestick. Yes! Perfect. Yes, Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only take a look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnant of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room has been the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garridub's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. You are telling me she used a slab so hard it created a force for wind that destroyed everything in the wake, threw the candlestick to the floor, which was still burning, although there was a light breeze going at it, so it should actually go out. Am I wrong? And it burned the carpet. Is that the logical conclusion we are going to? Okay, I'll see. Forced the candle to fall from its holder, and in seconds the carpet was alight, and the whole room, whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow, so you see there's but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Carpet scorched by a small fire. Deduction complete. Elementary. Not so sure about that. In these dashed long winter nights, you know, nothing to do but reach in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material, for which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly... Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened, blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bloody thing. I was caught between the old stick rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir, one that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Yeah, you didn't do a good job, though. Over here, Mr. Gutty? Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. my favorite old books, novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smokes. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. And there was I, backed up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary. Books incoming, 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride. Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Come on! Stop making fun of the poor woman. Mr. Sholmes' deduction turned out to be correct once again. You call that correct, Susato-san? It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage, flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure, I can't remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. So at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Britih could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Oh, really? Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garydep's situation. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the onset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you weren't going to say that. No, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only 2 categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So, that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garydep. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Alright. I guess, although... What will he say to the scorch marks? Let's see. What a miserable sight. Oh dear, but at the least the whole room wasn't engulfed in flames. I am surprised about that, actually. How did they manage to put out the flames if they were busy fighting between themselves and didn't really care about the flames? I suppose so. But my whole collection went up in smoke, you know. All those novels I adored so much. Well, John, whose fault is that? Not mine, that's for sure. Well, whoever may or may not be to blame, I'm quite sure you can buy some new old books to replace them, can't you? Huh, new old books? Bally nonsense. It does sound like a contradiction in terms, but then these two are full of contradictions. True. That's couples for you, Mr. Naruhodo, or so I've been led to believe. Okay. Did it reset everything again? I could talk to them. Maybe. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I'm afraid it's supper time now. I'll have to ask you to leave. Ah, yes, I'm sorry. If we linger too long, Mr. Garrideb will start pouring tea. Mrs. Garrideb will start pouring tea again. Yeah, I think his legs are non-existent by now. No one wants that. Alright, shall we go then? No doubt Sosisuke's son is beside himself in his cell waiting for us to return. I can't afford to spend any longer making up my mind. Okay, let's go. Prison. Eh? I said prison on Briar Road. Okay, it's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a car. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garrideb's house. Who is that? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking what? Nimini-pimini? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than a dream of your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me? What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. Huh? A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Huh. Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. We haven't done anything. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamed of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of a polemist in my battle of words. Never. How? Could there be... Sorry? A battle... Did you say? Who's the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So fair maiden, so good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. He's quite eccentric. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Gerida house is certainly full of eccentrics. That's for sure. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Local prison, cell 9, 6:31 p.m. Alright. Let's go. Yo. Dude. We're back. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came, locum student Mr. Naruhodon Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. You don't look touched at all. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If it were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, natural, never-failing niponese. Oh, no, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. I save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading materials in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodations here offers a window, my dear fellow. Is that, in that sense, it is the superior option. Ooh, harsh. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned. What are you thinking about, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Moustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Cursed trial. Ow! That hurt. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really... that really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please, tell me, summarize it. What? In 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived in a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. My goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly. Yesterday, Mr. Nadador successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGilders. What? Ah, I am impressed, Mr. Settle. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Yeah, of course he is? Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper. Van Zieks is a quite exceptional man, however, in London courts of law. Exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good. Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an exceptional system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. Yes and no. The jury has too much to say, if I'm honest. Especially if they are so easily influenced. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Yes, thank you. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, from time to time, my dear madame, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, Ryunosuke, seriously? It happened yesterday in your own trial. However, Those indicated by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? Ah, by all means of misfortune, sir. The menace of misfortune. Perhaps they are trampled under passive carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh no, no, no! All examples of reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. No, I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for doomed. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garridab's house, I assume? Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me all the time, from dusk till dawn, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose here? There? It seems a little inconvenient. True, true. But I don't know if he would be able to sing. I think he's more the main dancer, or the face for all things theatrical. The rent is cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable, and the landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place." He's definitely a theatre guy. Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room it really is cursed then? This is all confirmation bias. Same with the Reaper of the Bailey. Someone goes missing after the trial with him. Confirmation bias. Someone dies after the trial with him. Confirmation bias. If someone didn't have an accident, but then suddenly gets ill because of whatever, he doesn't have to die, but it's still confirmation bias. Something happened to him after that trial, so it has to have been the Reaper doing his thing. Same with this. He is easily influenced, believing in the curse, so everything that happens to him in that room that is in some case unfavorable will strengthen him, is his belief in that curse. Oh well, let's see. We'll have to probably curse that room. Figure out what is actually cursing him. It could have been a lip sync. True. But would have still been deemed beneficial because of his moves as well as his writing capability, since he's based off... Yeah, true. Would be interesting if we get to see a voiced line of him, but I doubt it. We only get them of the main characters, I believe. Alright, you mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stepped in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really? No one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. To believe, alright. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruto? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Borea, if you recall. The Borea... Ah, that case. The one with the snake? Close enough. Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. Only half-heartedly. And you helped us to investigate. I did. Did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see. Yes, you mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in the locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires an explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You say, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only thing I believe in are those I choose to believe in. Yeah, you look like that. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what it is to believe and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. So the circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were so right, Kazuma. Seriously, a defense lawyer does not have to believe in his client. He has to believe what he says, yes, and has to try to at least get him a less harsh sentence if it's clear that he is the one who did the deed, but he does not have to believe that his client is innocent. Sure, he has to act the way that he believes in it, because that builds trust with his client, but in the end, he does not have to believe him. He just has to be the defense lawyer that does his job. His job is to defend his client, get him the non-guilty verdict or a less harsh sentence. That is it. That is the job of a defense lawyer. It's not to believe in his client. What? Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Ooh, trout sounds nice. Soseki wants to come with us. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime, and it's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. I'll be right back. I need a short toilet break. Alright, sorry about that. I read that already, didn't I? I will fight for innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. No? So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato. Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. The shocking events of yesterday's trial will weigh heavily on my mind. Still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So, it's time. Time that I learn to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strengths I can muster. To be continued. Alright, so time for the trial, I guess. Save complete. Back. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it would be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. He looks like he hasn't slept a wink. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Oh. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I was at 9 lives, my whole future hangs on the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor. I can do this. I can take it. Although local student Mr. Naruhodo is quiet. Yes? Caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. know why that is? It might be, Mr. Sato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruto, but I have no idea. Probably because of the Reaper of the Bailey is in court. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zix? Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zix is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zix's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Oh, what a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived from the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? Which wasn't a murder. It was an attempted murder at best. That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we all forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. It's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you are friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruto, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Ah, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? You accepted it and wanted it, so shut up and take it. I'm the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skill, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. You are not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget it. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom, and my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma, because this time I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. I still want his headband. They had 45 minutes. 47. No, 37. It was 23, right? Yeah. 10 AM, the Old Bailey courtroom. Roughly 40 minutes. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Niponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Niponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. After all, our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. I see that wine flying again. Very true and most fascinating, if dark. Trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Is that Mrs. Bribble, whatever, landlady? Thank you, counsel. I see both sides signed fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Isn't he the banker that was a witness to the last trial? Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Is that a chin? That was quite the chin. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that Mustached Foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Sorry. That voice is killing mine. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki, Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. I said I would see it flying. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you how from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath, they are. Oh no, it's not a chin. It's a what's it called? Thing. It really looked like it was a chin. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Go on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. You are the witness? Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. That's not... Tobias Crichton, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back of her... what? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? They don't even know who she is for sure? Huh, comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger? Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Royal Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Case file has been entered in the court record. A file containing an overview of the case and details about the victim. She was found with a knife in her back and is currently in hospital, yet to regain consciousness. What of the weapon that was used? So, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's bag. Ouch! That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even this correct-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. The last time I was in London, I was there for about 2 weeks. And we were staying at an Airbnb and they had no sharp knives. So we went to the next Tesco to buy a knife. Turns out, because the knife crime in England, but especially London, is so high, you have to show your ID to get a knife. A kitchen knife. You have to show that you're of legal age to buy a knife. I was like, okay, whatever. Here's my ID. Can I go now? And we had to purchase scissors as well, and they were also packaged, sealed, in a way that you needed a scissors to get the scissors out of that package, and otherwise you were, well, unable to get your appliances. So it's, let's say, hard if you have nothing lying around to help you open stuff like that. It was rather funny, but luckily the Airbnb we were in had scissors to help us open the case for the scissors, so we could use the scissors to cut out the knives. We didn't find the scissors at first, that's why we bought scissors as well. A common organ, yeah, okay. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. The jackknife has been entered into the court record, a large but commonplace folding knife. It was found lodged in the victim's back. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she is a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. I'm going to give up on voices, I'm sorry. It's training my voice too much.
Yes!
If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Yo! The poor wine! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Niponese student. Yes, sir. Damn it, get those fish and chips out of the courtroom. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. But you have witnesses of the crime? You are contradicting yourself, my man. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. And yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. The crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. You niponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sutter? Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what that woman in the print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That is not mean that he is guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Phew. Press. Why can't I press? Hello? Why isn't this working?
Hold it!
Light fog, you say? Well, light for London, you could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much further, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog, but it's my country. In my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something as Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage that they were pulling. Susato-san, I should definitely remember to stop, look and listen. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Visibility was reasonably good and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Does it work now? Why not? What's going on? None of them are working. What? strange. Give me the options. Confirm, cancel. My keyboard inputs are not accepted. What's going on? Okay, I guess I have... The only thing that works is space. Okay, let's press. How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my dear learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. But if there was no one else but those two on the street, there shouldn't be witnesses. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe. From Scotland Yard. That is correct, madame. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation in your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. Ah. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Right, here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement.
Hold it!
From behind? You say? That's right, as you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition, comatose no less? I'm afraid so, my lord. Yes, she's been treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings? I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books. They were irreparably damaged, all after falling in the floor. In the snow, of course. I can't read. I'm sorry. The accused could easily have carried all 3 in one hand, which means... It's manageable, but I wouldn't recommend it. Seriously. I can put them away again. Haven't touched those in ages. Wow. His other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings at the as you thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matters of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in the lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end, which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken. Something like this. I have to be honest, but me personally, I would cross the street here and just be home immediately. Yes, it's the same way, but why cross only in front of your house when you can just cross the street and then be on the correct side to enter your house? Just me. Alright. Something like this. The local map's information has been updated in the court records. Yes, I concur with your conclusions, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from the particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that's what the Inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the Inspector just made being the bookshop's location. Nothing else makes sense. The crucial detail in what you've just told the court, Inspector, is the location of the bookshop. I couldn't agree more. So, where is it exactly? Are you winding me up, Sunshine? I just explained. I got the map out and everything, used red booming ink and drew the bloke's route home on for you. And I distinctly remember seeing you not too long ago. Oh, yes, of course. Must have been so nervous I didn't take it in. The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend. No, not yet. The trial's only just begun after all. Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court records at this stage. Yes, miss. Heard it once, miss. Sorry, I made a mistake, miss. Inspector, continue with your testimony, please. Yeah, let me check out the court records first. Okay, I see what's going on. I'll have to save and open the game again. Yes, thank you. Exit. Yeah, save, whatever. Can't hurt. Okay. Start it again. Oh, come on. You don't have to load it into the cloud right now. Thank you. Please do not turn off your computer. Checking for DLC. Yes. Continue. Yes. Ah, it's finally working again. Okay. Examine Bourbon books. Okay. What do we have here? Your books. He wasn't there. Oh. 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 Customer, Mr. Natsume, the sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq. A meal for Gaboriot, Canterbury yearnings. Oh. 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 Incident report. Details. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim, olive green. Female, stout build, early 20s. Location, pavement of Briar Road, East Side. Reporting officer, Rowley Beata? Beanie? Additional notes. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruto, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right, well spotted, Mr. Sato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. And potentially dangerous. Anything else? I don't see it. If there is some crime scene. Okay. So it's the name, not... Inspector, continue with your testimony, please. Okay. If I press here, I mean present the receipt here, it won't help me at all, would it? Huh. But it's not the truth, obviously, but okay. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. You asked for the help of the famous detective Herlock Sholmes to locate the defendant, I believe. Stuff and nonsense. Sorry. The jacking-off is that busybody just comes and sticks his oar in whether we ask him or not. But according to what I've heard, Mr. Sholmes was shown to the scene by Scotland Yard detectives. Well, that was nothing to do with me. The lads at the scene must have done it without my permission. I tell him time and again, whenever something happens, send word to headquarters. Then follow your blooming instructions. I see. If that meddler gets his hands on any detail, we'll all be reading it in Ron's magazine next month. You can bet your last farthing that I'll be in there too, stripped of all my hard work on the case. Yes, Mr. Sholmes, no, Mr. Sholmes, aren't you clever, Mr. Sholmes? That's all thanks I'll be getting. Inspector, if the man is proving detrimental to the yard's activities, perhaps I should step in and deal with him. It appears Inspector Gregson is lost for words. Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously. Anyway, the point is this, that little Japanese bloke already admitted it. He's admitted that those books all over the pavement at the scene were the ones he bought that day. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed? Yes, they are sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony. Okay. I have to press here. And then say it's the name.
Hold it!
Yep. Let me skip to that part. Bourbon books. And that. Yes, I concur, blah blah. Yes, I agree. The most important part is the shop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. Very well, not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, my lord, whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Sardonic? He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a second-hand bookshop he apparently patronizes. Boop.
Objection!
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Eh? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Whether the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would most certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. Sorry. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, your books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir, what you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Inspector Gregson, where is this your books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that your books is just here on the next corner of Meersham Street going east. The local maps information has been updated in the court records. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh. My learned niponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticism. To your future career in the circus. You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from your books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Not necessarily. Sure, the other one isn't a straight street, but you could still walk the other way. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Niponese friend. He has too many glasses. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say, huh? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Nathan is guilty. Ah, she's absolutely right. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. The claim Suzuki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your works, but the assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Nutmeg could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But... yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Nutmeg which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right, as I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe this. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. We shall do so in the next part. For I need to rest my voice. Alright. I did it again. Alright. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun. I enjoyed myself quite a lot this time around. Right. We'll see where this trial leads us tomorrow. At the same time as always. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye bye.